The House bill to have the government take over health care contains Section 2511, which would put clinics in our schools. Minnesota has experience with these clinics, and here is one girl's testimony. Hi, my name is Jamie. I hope my personal story and experience with the West Suburban Teen Clinic will convince you that bringing this clinic into the school campus will endanger the health of many students. At age 14, I was what you could describe as a rebellious teen. My parents had rules, like all parents, and tried their best to instill moral values in my life they hoped would guide me down the right road. But I chose a path that led to the West Suburban Teen Clinic. It was there I learned how easy it was to get birth control, morning after pills, exams, condoms, or whatever else I needed to have sex and not tell my parents. I didn't even have to go to a real doctor. At the clinic, I was told my parents didn't have to know about any of my visits or what birth control the school clinic was giving me. The clinic made it so easy for me to have sex. They made it so easy to hide things from my mom and dad. After all, since it was my right not to tell them about birth control, they didn't need to know anything else about my life either. The teen clinic opened the door for me to lie and supported me in my deception. Looking back, I can see that their counseling affirmed a continuous pattern of lying, secrets, cover-up. This destroyed any mutual trust between my parents and me. The school-based sex clinic convinced me I was doing a good thing by going there because I was practicing safe sex. Was it safe to break the trust with the only people who really, truly protected and cared about me? Was it safe when the clinic jumped at the chance to give the morning after pill to a 14-year-old without revealing to me any of the negative health risk side effects? They didn't even care who I was having sex with. Imagine a 14-year-old. I could have been having sex with an older man. It could have been rape, anything. They never once took the time to ask me. I was so young. All I thought was, oh, I won't be getting pregnant if I take this morning after pill. I was never given the facts about side effects. I went to my school-based sex clinic multiple times to get the morning after pill. They would ask me if I needed a couple backup pills to keep in a friend's house just in case, or hide at my own house so I wouldn't have to ride all the way back to the clinic. I can honestly say the school-based sex clinic visits also had a very negative effect on my education. As I became more involved sexually and had more visits to this school-based sex clinic, I would sit in class thinking about what courses and classes I could miss so I could make my school clinic visit for more pills and condoms before the end of the school day. It made it difficult for me to focus on my class assignments when I was thinking about a pelvic exam or the thought of having an STD or being pregnant. Now I'm 20 years old. I'm very concerned about the long-term damage to my health thanks to my school-based sex clinic. They not only helped me hide things from my mom and dad, they hid the truth from me. My school sex clinic didn't care that I was a minor teen. They didn't care what the side effects of these pills would do to my reproductive system, and my body is messed up. They gave me pills and condoms, and they left it to my parents to pick up the pieces. If only I knew what I know now, how our school sex clinic advice and pills damaged me physically and emotionally, I could have prevented so many of the problems with my parents and my family. If only I had never gone to my school-based sex clinic. And now you're bringing them to all the high schools? You need to protect kids. You need to uphold the desires of parents, not the wishes of clinics that make money off kids' mistakes. My parents tried to protect me, but my school-based sex clinic took that right away. They took over the role that my parents were intended to have, and they hid everything from them, the people who loved me the most. Please stop these school-based sex clinics from coming in and ruining more kids' lives. I wish I could warn all the students at high schools about these clinics. They need to know about the physical and emotional damage that can be done by a pattern of pills and promiscuity. I wish I could tell them. I know the school-based sex clinics won't. Madam Speaker, this is a story of tragedy by one girl in Minnesota. Minnesota has experience with the school-based sex clinics that are being proposed in the bill that would have government take over health care in this country. Surely we can do better by our children that encourage them to gain experience in a lifestyle that will bring them only heartache and perhaps physical devastation. And I yield back.